All right, good evening. I'm going to call this meeting of the Town of Ocam FinCom to order at 6:35 PM. And in attendance, we have Steve Dollinger remote,
Yep.
and in person, my name's Corey Packard, and we also have,
Vin Piucci.
And Brad Battersby.
all right. So thank you for attending. We also have some selectmen and former FinCom chair and potential member with us in attendance as well. First up on the agenda, public comments, inquiries, or correspondence. I checked the mailbox. I had nothing there. Steve, Brad, Vinny, anybody heard
Nope.
anything?
No, nothing.
All right. So our FY25 year-to-date spending, actual versus budget. Vinny, did you have a chance to look at it?
Yes.
Did you have any questions on it?
Say that.
I thought you might, so I wanted to go to you first.
Well, actually, one of them is, what is this? Line 30 on there.
Oh, sorry, that's the FY26.
This
I'm
is-
talking about
oh,
FY25.
Oh, okay,
This one.
sorry.
Nope, that's okay. So this one
no, that-
here, we got from her on May 14th. And so being that it's through the 10th period, we should be looking at 83.3%. Or you should have your 16.67% remaining of
Right.
the budget line. And right now, the town's running at 26.58% remaining overall. So it sounds like the selectmen have done a nice job keeping everyone's nose to the grindstone, if that's the correct saying, and really holding to their budgets. That's almost 10% under where we'd expect to be at the state. So thank you, selectmen. Did you have any questions on FY25 year to date? No. Steve, what about you?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And I know the selectmen are not in meeting currently, but did you have any updates that the FinCom should be aware of for FY25 that you would want to speak to?
No, I think everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay,
So I haven't heard of anything past or fees budget wise.
that is what I was asking. Excellent, thank you.
It's just motoring along to the end of the year.
Excellent, all right. So the next agenda item is the FY26 budget discussion with Board of Selectmen. And again, being that they're not in meeting, this is an informal discussion. And they did send us over on May 14th, their updated version that Vinny has pulled up in front of him there. I have a printed
So that I
one.
can zoom in and actually see the numbers.
That's nice.
Steve, did you have a chance to look at their FY26 budget request?
Yes.
Did you have any questions or concerns?
No.
Okay. So basically, Brad, they went through and level funded everything that you see that's green and white. And anywhere there's a change, there's a notation by the accountant.
Which is back there.
So one of the Board of Selectmen under salaries and wages, one of the numbers went from a 51.1 to a 53.8, and she says it was amended 2,700 per the May 13th Board of Selectmen meeting. So everything is up to date as of that date. I ran through it and everything looked very reasonable, very understandable. I think I had a question on one item. As you'll notice, most of the things are, if you slide this over just a little bit for him, yep. You'll see a lot of removed and reduced. There was
Right.
one. Which one? So something they note, they cut the fire department vehicle repairs and equipment testing. That was the first time that I remember hearing about that. Mike, did the fire chief sign off on that or
All the cuts were across the board, all the
Okay.
departments.
was the fire chief aware that I hadn't heard it for that meeting. Was he aware that you were cutting the vehicle maintenance and equipment testing?
I haven't spoken with
Okay, yep. And. Corrected the typo. And the contractual wage increases are in there, but then there were no other wage increases, correct?
there weren't going to be, and then there was a reduction in the school budget, and there was more, roughly 20,000 some odd through the state. So we were able to put in that small increase. The stipends were put back in,
Okay,
and there was a small increase for the hourly employees.
okay,
So, and then everything else that was reduced, it's gonna stay reduced. And that's gonna leave with going a full 2.5% to the levy limit. I think it leaves us $3.51 or $2 for the good,
and that's without the override, without
with
an
no
over,
override. Unless there's some kind of change that happens between now and town meeting with the state house or.
has the accountant weighed in? Because that seems like it's too close for comfort.
Actually, she was very much involved with those calculations.
And she was okay with going to $3 and change?
That's what's left to the good.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, gentlemen, I have a question.
Yes, who, could you state your name
This is
for,
Claire Hendra, and I'm just covering until we get the new treasurer up and running in the COA. Fiscal 26, I have a line item. You have account numbers?
actually, it's easier if you give me which department I can find first.
COA.
Yep.
You ready for the account number?
What's the description on after?
COA software.
Yes.
I want to make sure the line item budget is there because I have the bill.
So COA software, looks to me that it was 1,200
Yeah.
for 25.
Yeah,
Year to date, 25 was 1,200
Yep.
and fiscal year 26 budget request is 13,200.
yeah,
Does that match?
yeah. Still there?
That is in there, yes.
Well, now they've,
And if I can give you $120.
Like I say, I think
I sounded,
So that's the
I
account
mean, we're
recommended.
talking about $3.50.
This is the budget number.
I think it's 352.
Oh, okay.
it's these numbers that
I
add up.
got the bill for next fiscal year. Okay.
$3 left over.
$1,200.
Is that, I thought it was these numbers.
So I just want to make sure it's in there because I've got to be able to, when I talk to Kathy, I should have to tell her where to pay it.
Fine.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you're-
it's
if you come all the way to the bottom,
Is what's left.
Yeah.
you have a description about
Whether it's
difference between, so difference,
Doesn't seem to make a difference, does it?
difference from the Board of Selectmen and accounting
Alright.
budget.
51,000.
You
Yeah.
guys cut out the COA director
Yes,
or
it's-
activities coordinator?
She has it.
Okay,
Is that gone, Claire?
I don't know.
Directors-
I'm asking
So I
you.
was gonna ask that.
So director stipends,
No, not the director stipend. That should be a zero.
coordinator,
We don't use that account. It's coordinator wages.
coordinator wages went from FY 24 at
Yeah.
$8,808
Yeah.
to FY 25 at $12,480 to zero.
Okay.
is what I
I
see.
just need to know.
That's
Figured that was
at
gonna
the police
happen,
department.
so.
No, that is the Council of Aging person who coordinates all of their events. So it looks like, Mike, that matches your memory?
Yeah.
Okay.
The position has been open
Yeah,
for, well, since.
6 months. Oh, not 6 months. It's,
Probably longer.
yeah, 6 months.
Okay.
And
I think Claire had asked the question and that is running the town just for, as Brad and Vinny being new, the Board of Selectmen get to make that decision. And in the budget they present to us, they would let us know that something like that is changing. We do not control how they run the town. We simply ask the questions to protect the taxpayers' best interest and trying to close the budget gap this year. They've decided to run the town and that's in the best interest. And so if someone were to ask like Claire for our opinion on it, we could vote on it if we thought it was in the town residents and taxpayers' best interest. But otherwise, it's just presented to us from the Board of Selectmen as that's their purview, within their purview. So,
And going forward, Corey, for next budget season, not this one. And it'll depend on what the state does, what the dynamics are, but this year they're really, to do an override, there wasn't the time or the information. And then to be able to have hearings on what that number was gonna be. And, it would have been a last minute.
I believe many towns are having to do a last minute override this year, and it looks like a lot of work.
Struggling, didn't want to do that. If it's going to happen, we'd rather have a lot of, public input or whatever going forward with the time to put that number together, but.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the school numbers constantly change through the budget process and the state.
I mean, is that position still available to apply for online, or has it been taken off as well?
Which position?
The
Council of Aging.
Council of Aging?
Well,
one?
then you need to address me.
Oh.
Because I do the advertising.
Okay.
I took the advertising down. I was getting ready to advertise again. That's why it was important for me to know. Because otherwise I've been running the ad at $180.
I was just wondering, because if it was still running and somebody actually chose to do it, we have part of our budget to maybe not do it to the
So,
full extent, obviously, but to offer something if.
but again, that would fall to the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
If they're gonna hire somebody or fire somebody, maintain a department funding or not. Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't have any money. So that's what it comes down
I thought
to.
we had it a little bit.
She's talking, I think, maybe about the town in general doesn't have any money to spare. We have the emergency reserve fund.
And you can only use
that-
that
That's this
to
reserve.
cover an emergency situation, not for a planned item.
Yes,
Excuse me.
Okay,
correct.
because I was gonna ask what I wasn't sure what that was.
It has to be an emergency,
Money that we have control of, or,
unforeseen.
Yes.
Yeah.
okay.
Let's put it that way.
And then Brad, you asked the question about the police chief's assistant. Is that what I heard? So you want to look for police. I believe I saw that it was funded.
That was cut, wasn't it?
Administrative wages.
Police administrative assistant.
Yeah, so that's been
Mhm.
funded FY 22.
Yeah.
It was just above 8,000. FY 23, it was just below 8,000, just above FY 24, just above 8,000. And it was budgeted at 8,400 last year. Year to date is 3833, and it looks like it has been cut by the Board of Selectmen. Mike, I don't know if you're comfortable speaking to it. The police chief has weighed in that that position brings in more money to the town than it costs. Why are we cutting it?
I don't really want to speak to it other than the
Okay.
position was created when the police chief was part-time.
Okay,
And since he retired from his other position in Worcester, he's now full-time. So my understanding, I wasn't on the board at the time, but my understanding that was funded because he was part-time to help him, with the secretarial part of it.
okay.
So
So then, speaking as a town resident, if we have the police chief weigh in that position brings in more money than it costs the town, I can't think of a good example, but if you own a vending machine and it costs you $10 a month in electricity, but it brings you in $100 in income, would you shut off the vending machine? That doesn't make sense to me. So this is an item, Brad, you've asked a number of times for good examples. I'll put this to a vote and say, I'd like the FinCom to vote on whether they think that those monies should be reinstated or not.
Well-
So but let's have a discussion
So-
first.
Yeah, so it sounds like, so now the chief is doing what the admin was doing?
No, he still has the admin.
At the moment, he does, but
Yeah.
what would be doing, he'd be doing the admin himself under his chief's duties.
Do we know how many hours that person works? Is it 12, 16?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Okay.
But I mean, a lot of it was just processing.
My understanding, yeah, so the police chief has spoken to us and said it's solely processing
Well, here's the one.
detail money. So
Just to-
when she comes in, she fills out the detail receipts so the town can get paid.
So
That's,
But she's not gonna be there next year.
that is the current,
And if the chief is doing it, is he gonna bring in that money that she was bringing in?
someone would have to, but it takes your chief or your sergeant off the street.
Hmm.
So the question becomes if you want them in the office filling out paperwork, or if you would rather them out.
Well, I guess, because, so if he's gonna be doing the admin work, would that include what she was doing that was, what was she doing that was bringing in money?
So
Just
no,
grants or-
my understanding is, and we can all, Don, how's it going?
Let Dawn explain it.
So Don, we know that the Board of Selectmen are not in session, so it's just unofficial discussions with you guys. We walked through the Council of Aging Coordinator position, and Brad had asked the question about the police chief's assistant. Do you know how many hours a week that person works? It's an 8 hour, and so continue your question, Vinny.
Well, no, it sounds like so the idea is she gets dropped and the chief does what she was doing. Is that correct?
What the chief will be doing is what the former two chiefs did.
Because the question is that, she apparently brings in more money than she costs.
He doesn't bring in any money.
Well, so the chief has, I don't want to say testified, the chief has spoken at these meetings to say that her 8 hours of paperwork are to fill out the detail reimbursement forms. And so she brings in more money to the town through detail reimbursements than her salary. Am I not capturing it correctly?
The officers that are actually working bring the money in. All she does is record.
But don't you have to record that paperwork to get paid?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so she fills out the forms that allows the town to get
But
paid.
now the chief's gonna be doing that.
Well, we don't know. He's not here to speak to that.
Mm.
Someone has to fill out that form. So the detail officers, when you go on a site,
Yeah.
the contractor signs off on
Yeah,
them, but they hand that paperwork in.
right. Somebody's got to send the bill.
Someone has to send the
Right.
bill, correct?
And is that going to be the
Yeah.
chief?
Dawn's the former chief in Ocam, so I think Dawn would probably,
Myself and the chief before me were full-time. Neither one of us had secretaries. We did all of this ourselves.
So it's going to happen whether she's there or not.
When Fred took over, he was only part-time. And the reason he got a secretary was because he was part-time. Now that he's full-time, we don't really need that.
So she basically was still that much ahead because he's going to be doing what she was doing.
It's 8 hours. You can't take him from 40 hours and tell him he now has to work 48 hours.
Is that the,
Within his
No.
40, he will complete the task that he was
Right.
doing.
yeah.
So instead of whatever he did in that 40, he now has to find an additional 8 hours. And so that's without him here, I can't speak for him, but let's say that he does a 30-10 split. That 30 of his hours are on the street, 10 are paperwork. There's also training in there and other things, but just for simplicity. So now you have to figure out where that additional 8 hours is going to come out of. If he's already in the office with 10 hours of paperwork, it has to come out of the street time. So the question becomes, do you want to take an officer off the street for those 8 hours a week?
I guess, and that's,
There's a full.
you've got the experience here.
Yeah.
Is that an issue?
Hasn't been with myself or previous chiefs.
Yeah.
We've all been able to work it in.
Hmm.
The whole idea here is these positions being cut. These are not core positions. These are not the people out on the street answering calls. They're not the firefighters. They're not plowing the roads. These are extra. And we're $350 from the cap.
I thought it was $3 we were down to.
No,
I meant 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
or 351.
So any changes with these cuts is gonna mean an override.
well, we also,
We'll have to find the money in
Or you-
another line item,
or we find the money elsewhere,
cut the equivalent.
or we wait to see if the school number changes again, or the state money changes again, as is often the case.
Not this late.
No.
Sorry, I do disagree with you, Claire. We have seen them change their numbers later than this.
Okay, this is late.
So,
I
okay,
think we're all already using the lowest number
I think so.
from the Senate.
And the lowest ones from the Senate.
I believe that's correct,
Uh,
which is the tightest number.
So the number you're talking that has the balance, is that the budget request or the account recommended numbers?
It's the account.
Okay, so it is this,
so that would explain why it closes
right,
$51,730
right,
difference.
okay.
Okay, so Brad, is that an item that you would like the FinCom to vote on? Because it's the first one that you've brought up that we have an opportunity to.
No, I mean, I think it makes sense what he's saying, to be honest with you.
Okay,
If it was a part-time covering the rest of the full-time piece. And it's been done in the past, then I don't see why we would do that. I think if the school makes changes and we have a little bit more, we can.
Well, that is the key part of it,
Yeah.
is that it was done because the police chief was part-time.
Right.
And that was something to help cover.
Yeah.
Because he was only doing roughly 20 hours or whatever.
Yeah, my original understanding wasn't that the person was doing the detailing and that's how they were bringing in. I honestly thought she was like writing grants to bring in things and stuff of that nature. So
Okay.
I misunderstood that.
no, I think it's a good exercise, so I'd like to make a motion that we vote to accept the Board of Selectmen's recommendation to cut the the police chief's assistant position. Do I have a second for that motion?
Second,
I have a second, and then we'll do a vote. Steve, we're gonna record yours.
Yep.
Which way would you like to vote on that item?
I vote with yourself and everybody else. Yes, I agree with the board of selectmen.
So Brad,
I agree with the board of selectmen.
yay?
Yay.
yes,
Yeah, so I would vote nay on that one. And so 3-1, that motion would pass to support the Board of Selectmen position. Okay. So that's we're officially on the record for that. If it had gone the other way, then it would be in our best interest to suggest a way to make that money. But it would go back to the selectmen to close the budget gap because they can't present a budget to the town. We present the budget to the town. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a good point by you to bring that up.
No, it's good exercise.
Yeah. All right. What other items did you have in there, Vinny?
I think. I have a more curiosity question. How many students do we have at Pathfinder?
Oh, these questions come up every year.
Did you pull down your cherry sheets?
Yes. we have.
It's in the cherry sheet. It should be under main contribution.
So Steve, do you have those numbers in front of you?
And then the state shows you how they break down the main contribution between the students, Pathfinder and Quabbin.
I'd have to pull it out.
And also Pathfinder would have seen that information too. Missing with their
I
information.
don't have it in front of me, but Quabbin is around 12. I think we started at 210 in October. Gone up.
Yeah, something like 210. Yeah, I remember
We
that
had
because I
that.
looked on their website to see
I
what
think
was.
we added a few during the year.
See if I can find you a chart. So you can also go on the web if you want to see the latest, but I do have a printout from about a month ago. Oh, this was the Quabbin Appropriation Control Report for. Sorry. So this is your foundation enrollment, and so that's how they capture the chapter 70 money. And so for OCAM, you're looking at FY 25, they had 228. FY 26, they're predicting 218. And this shows you the calculation across the state, and let's see if I can find the. And this is the breakdown rates per pupil. No, I don't have the Pathfinder. If Steve is usually very involved with Pathfinder and Quabbin, and if he
Yeah.
doesn't have,
I'm looking for it. Bear with me
okay.
a little bit.
And yeah, and it's not critical. It's just it's more curiosity of what we're paying for.
Really, at the end of the day, whether they tell us it's 8 students or 12 students, we have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So we can certainly track it year over year, but at the end of the day, as Paul has pointed out many times, you have a minimum requirement that you have to pay the school,
Mhm.
and there is an additional portion that theoretically you could withhold from the schools that no one ever really does. But sometimes it's nice to break out to see Quabbin versus Pathfinder.
Mhm.
And again, Steve has been in the past the one to always attend those meetings. Not to put you on the spot, Steve.
That's fine.
What else do you have, Vinny?
I think. Let's see, yeah, I had a question just because the numbers don't work. The Board of Selectmen website and IT services.
Hold on, let me find that one. Where are you? How many rows down? Board of
It's
Selectmen.
30.
Yep. So that was about 4,022, about 6,023, almost 14,024. And it was budgeted FY 25 at 28,000.
And so the question is, it says year to date, next to that is 2,500. And then the accountant's note says it's spent 15K to date.
Yep. So then you would switch over to this general ledger one that I sent you. And
Yeah, I didn't have enough time to study everything.
no, that's okay. And so we'd run through here and you'd look to see.
Just to let you know, last year, as of October 1st, 24, we had 16 students enrolled.
Okay,
Thank you, Steve.
thanks.
So basically you do a search in the general ledger one, find Board of Selectmen, which is in here, but I don't, and then website IT services, budget amount 28,000, period amount $1,311, year-to-date amount
Okay,
$15,689.25.
so the 2531 is incorrect.
So they're at 44% available. You're saying,
If you look at the,
well, so this is December. You're looking at FY 25 year-to-date December actual.
oh, okay.
So that,
Yep,
that's what that number is there.
all right.
So honestly, to me, I would imagine Brad, and my first question would be, why has that gone from 4,000 to 6,000 to 14,000 to $28,000 in 4 years? That's a big increase. And so that's a valid question that you could ask the Board of Selectmen. If you'd like, let you do that one.
Okay,
Gotta train you sometime.
so the website and IT services has
You
gone.
want to get their attention first.
Oh. They're busy. Question for the select board. Website and IT services has gone from, 4,000 to 5,000 to 13 to 28. Just wondering what's increased that much?
I'm sorry, did you say IT services?
Yeah,
We originally had two line items. We eliminated one and put them all together. That hasn't gone up.
oh, okay, so,
It's two separate items that were combined together to make it easier.
okay. All right,
Don, what is covered under that item?
Everything, the computers, the internet. This,
oh, okay.
Thank you. So that's a very valid
Yeah.
question, and those are the things that we
Yeah.
look for. Brad usually likes those ones. Thanks.
I think. That's all the questions I had.
Okay. So if that is all the questions on the FY 26 budget, I would weigh in as a town resident that I'm not comfortable that we're using 100% of the town's free cash and leaving $300 and change spare. I'm not big on hoping and praying that the state gives us more money or that the school cuts their budget further. That seems like too close a shave. We could ask the Board of Selectmen if there were any additional cuts, but as Don has pointed out at a previous meeting, they're cutting to the bone at this point. Council of Aging coordinator gone, police assistant gone. You're out of fat. There's to quote Don, you're out of fat. So unless Vinny sees something in there, and I didn't see anything that looked like we could cut, we're at that critical spot where we have to decide, do we want to move forward recommending this budget? Right off the bat, I am not. That is too tight. But this is why it's for discussion between all of us.
So if we disagree with it, what is the next step?
So I'd make a motion, we can vote, before this meeting is over, I will make a motion. We're gonna vote to support it or not. If we vote to support it, we move forward to town meeting, there's no additional expenses. If we vote to not support it, it is in our best interest to help the selectmen come up with some suggestions of where we think cuts could be made. But again, they're cutting to the bone. But at the end of the day, it does get kicked back to them as they run the town, and they would have to decide what else to cut. Or conversely, as they've discussed at several meetings now, the override, and as Don spoke, again, not in session, it would be last minute. And many towns are doing last minute overrides, and it's a lot of work, and it's not fun for anyone in the town. No one wants to see their taxes go up.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it's a hard thing to pass.
It's very difficult.
Well, I would say at this point, you would have to really make a case to the town.
Hmm.
And you would have to show the revenue versus operating expenses. And it is too late to make a presentation. The one time we did pass a Prop 2.5, we prepared way in advance. And we had meetings that the town could attend. And we were we explained revenue and where it was coming from and where the money was going out.
Don,
And we made it by one vote.
Don, correct me, the town has only passed an override once in the last 12 years? Is it?
That was probably the time we did it.
Yeah,
We
so,
passed it on one vote, and you have to go twice. You have to put it on as an article, it has to pass a town meeting, and then it goes to vote.
Goes to the ballot.
It goes to
And
ballot.
that's usually where it fails.
Yeah, and we passed one vote.
Well, it's easier to vote against it.
Well, actually, it was
on the
one
ballot
vote,
than raising your hand.
town meeting. I think we passed by more votes than that in the secret ballot.
Hmm.
But you really have to do your homework.
So what number would you feel comfortable with?
Garage,
that's a great question.
top garage.
It's kind of like the
Right now,
Spending money on your dog's surgery. I know, I'm
I
willing
just
to,
had one of my dogs at the vet today.
I
so-
know I'm willing to spend a couple $100s on my dog, and I know I'm not willing to spend a couple $1,000s on my dog. Where do you draw the line in
You mean
between?
you know it when you see it.
You know, that's an old reference right there. Well done.
I mean, I
That's a
personally,
Supreme Court justice reference, actually. Well done. Sorry,
I
Brad.
feel like I beat a dead horse with asking the accountant at the last meeting I attended about what you would do in the situation to not use free cash, and it sounded like there is not much of an answer to that.
May I give you a little bit of history?
Certainly.
We had always used free cash. All of it to make it, okay? And there were in cases where we had enough of a gap with Prop 2.5. And the accountant would ask me, what does the FinCom want to do? Should we not go full 2.5 and use all the free cash? Or go full 2.5? I always told her go all full 2.5. But most of the time, we needed all free cash to close the budget. The problem that you have is that right now you're going on estimates. You don't have the final figures. Later on in the year, your local revenue is going to start coming in, and you will know better whether the estimate is close or too low or too high. All that money will get certified as free cash for next year. Her objections, because I was asking her some questions on other things, is that you were dipping into the free cash that you would certify in October, which would be for fiscal year 27. That's what she draws the line. So the state also, in the last meetings that I went to with the state, said they always recommended that you not use your free cash for your operating budget, because it's supposed to be free for expenditures for things that the town needs. However, they said, the towns are in such bad shape, they are now withdrawing that recommendation. They know the towns have to use their free cash.
So that runs.
That gives you the background.
So Claire, just to let you know, that does run counter to their guidance on the website. They still recommend what you mentioned before, to not use.
Because you're supposed to be able to use that free cash to buy, like if you need a police car or something like that. But in meetings with them, they said, we have come to realize, especially the small towns, maybe not Northborough, maybe not Westborough, definitely not Row, but towns like us, they needed to use the free cash, but never dip into the free cash that you're going to certify for fiscal 27.
What years are you referring to, Claire?
I'm off the board now for what, 3 years?
Okay,
So maybe 3 years ago.
so just for the record, per the state,
Yep.
in 2017, we used 100%, 2018, 100%, 2019, 100%. 2020, we only used 80%. 2021, we used 61.2%. 2022, we used 68.6%. 2023, 81.9%. And 2024, we used almost 100%, which
Now, in those years during COVID, is that?
Yeah,
gonna get a lot
that
of
would
government
then, when the
money?
accountant would come to me and say, Claire, do you want to keep going full free cash? And we'll back off on 2.5. Or do you want to go full 2.5? And I would always say, go full 2.5. So then if we had extra free cash, we would close it out, which probably was giving us the big amounts of free cash for the following years. I would say, close it out to, go full 2.5, whatever was left over in free cash, close it out,
well,
close it out.
so FY 20,
That's
sorry,
how you
Mike.
get ahead.
That's
FY,
how you get ahead.
FY 2020, though, I think Don might be able to speak to it. I don't know about FY 2020, but 21, 22, 23, we had a lot of federal money coming in, so I believe that helped the free cash situation.
Give it ARPA. So you could buy things out of ARPA.
Right.
But the other thing you need to remember on Prop 2.5, if I said back off on Prop 2.5, next year it's not 2.5. Now it's 2.5 and whatever you backed off. Now it's 3.5.
Actually,
It's always the theoretical, not what you applied, but the theoretical.
actually, the accountant said that, if I'm understanding you
Yeah.
right, she said, if you don't go to the full 2.5, you automatically start where you would have been at that full 2.5 the following year.
You betcha.
Yep.
And that's the law.
Right,
That's the law,
The
yeah.
other thing I'd like to point out is.
That's why I said just go Prop
Sorry.
2.5 all the way.
Sorry, Claire, hold on a second. Mike?
Yeah, when you had your meetings that I attended for the special town meeting, and we had the warrant articles for the fire police, and I had brought up with the finance committee that those cuts were made in June. And you recommended backfilling that money out of free cash. And I had cautioned the finance committee that if that was the new norm at town meeting in June, you're taking money that we're gonna need this June. But, you know, it was done, we backfilled. I think justifiably maybe for the fire department because of all the fires in the fall and their salary to get through the remainder of the year. Not so sure with the police backfilling that money that was cut. And then, you know, we had other things with the articles for the assessors that was in-house within the assessors, they just needed the vote. And then we had some issues with town clerk's office for things that had come in that fell through the cracks, but we spent roughly 26,000 or so. The lion's share kind of being police and fire.
Never mind.
So that kind of, that's money you don't have right now. And, you know, that special town meeting was March 11th.
Yeah, so what,
We probably could have, at least with those departments, we might have squeaked through. And if we had to, we could have gone at the last minute to the reserve fund to make payroll if we had to.
yeah, so Mike's saying you're getting into a seesaw situation where you cut it at the town meeting and then you refund at a special town meeting and you cut again and refund. But the reality is it does add a layer of transparency and it does allow the town residents to weigh in because the town residents were given the opportunity then to say, do we want to put that money back in? And the town residents voted to put that money back in. Is that correct, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, my only point was if that was the new normal, it shouldn't have even come up. It should have just been no.
It gives the,
But I think what we
Gives the town
decided
residents
is
a
that when we
chance.
move forward, we acknowledged it. And we all said, moving forward, like, people shouldn't cut their budget when the budget comes this year, because we're just gonna have to give it back to them, because they made cuts to try to help out, and then it didn't work out.
Well, with this year, the way things stand tonight, if you want to make a change, you guys are going to have to find the cut, and you guys are going to have to decide which department to cut to backfill what you want to fund. Because the boards, I'm not speaking for the board, I'm speaking for me. I'm not going to vote to make that decision. If you guys want to cut a department, on you guys, make that recommendation.
And I would say to you guys, how much did you put into the FinCom reserve?
we were trying to get to 40,000 and looks like going forward this year will be 30.
40 and
Yeah.
the accountant recommended going back to the 30. to
That's
close the
okay,
gap.
yeah. But so what I was gonna say is, you know, if the department can't make it, something has happened. At that point, you can go to the reserve account and say, there's an emergency expenditure. They can't, you know, they have a bill that came in, we can't pay. You can use that reserve account. Don't hit the free cash again because you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
We've been, the FinCom has, starting with Paul and continuing with Alan, continuing with me, has always leaned towards, we want to follow the state's guidance and we would like to get away from using 100% of free cash because all it does is it hurts you again next year.
But you are using it. You are using it.
That's
Just the
correct.
wrong free cash.
The other thing you have
I
to
mean, the wrong free
Because
cash.
we're using the free cash like for fiscal 27, it's what I mean. You don't want to use that.
Yeah,
The other thing you gotta remember is when the books close out at midnight, June 30th, July 1st, whatever money is left in each line item account
That's when it
becomes
closes out. Free cash.
free cash.
Yeah.
So that money was already voted. It's extra money that the departments didn't spend. So hence, that slides over into free cash.
But as we've cut each budget, as, again, to quote Don, to the bone, you have less and less money that is going to be returned to the town as free cash.
Mhm.
So as you cut each budget and you make them hold tighter to those budgets, and people spend 4,900 of a $5,000 budget, there was no fat in it to begin with. If they had $6,000 and they spent 4,900, you get 1,100 back. Now they have 5,000 and they're spending 4,950, you're getting $50 back.
Mhm.
So as we continue to cut the budget to the bone, it's a nasty cycle that leads to less free cash the next year. And the town accountant has warned, as did Alan, as did Paul, it will catch up to you at some point.
What's catching up to you too was new growth. Because the biggest amounts coming from your free cash is underestimating new growth and underestimating local revenue. That's where the bucks come in. Those are the bucks.
I don't think the town accountant agrees with that statement. The way she explained it to us was slightly different, but I can't answer for her.
Okay, so that was explained to me by the assessors
Yeah.
and the previous accountant.
Yeah, so we're very happy with the current accountant. She seems to be really on the ball, very impressive. And Brad said raked over the coals, if that's what you said, but he did not. He asked her, he peppered her with questions the last time.
Curiosity.
Yeah, out of curiosity, and she was a great sport and answered all his questions really very well, I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah,
No problem. I've met Lori too.
I also feel like there wasn't a solution to how we
Yeah,
get ahead.
I mean, hypothetically, if the town's budget and every department spends down to 1 penny at 11:59 on June 30th.
Yeah.
Theoretically, that could happen. There would be no free cash other than maybe a roll of pennies going into the next year.
No, you would.
Right, also.
Well, you would, because you would have new growth, you would have
Yeah.
people, new excise
Because,
tax,
because of the way we go with local revenue, depending upon how it's been growing or not growing.
but you wouldn't have the balance
Yeah.
of each line item.
Yeah, going in.
Would not, so if somebody left $100 or $500 or whatever they end up at, that money would be gone.
Steve,
If
did
they
you,
spent right to the penny.
Mhm.
thank you, Mike. Steve, did you have any questions on the FY 26 budget? Because I'm about ready to make a motion for us to vote.
No,
Okay, Brad, did you have any remaining questions? You can, don't hold back.
So we didn't do the 2.5 this year. The prop 2.5 to raise taxes.
Oh, yeah, that's included in the revenue that you got from the accountant. That's already in there.
We
just
didn't
can't-
do an override.
we
Yeah,
can't
no
say it's
override.
2.5.
Yeah.
Right, but this is also different than what we've done in the previous 5 or 6 years we talked about, right? Because we hadn't been doing it.
Well,
Which is why we were short about
last year
130,
we were what?
because we weren't
2.1?
just,
Almost 2.5.
Now, this is.
this is just like keeping up with inflation kind of thing.
And again, the accountant explained that calculation is quite complicated and they do the best they can with it. And that's where she showed us the numbers where they get very close. So don't hesitate to ask.
That's good.
No,
Clarify.
I'm going to Vinny next, but this is why we're having this conversation.
Actually, my only comment is, looking over these numbers, the line items that have enough money in them to make a substantial difference in cutting, and not $500 here or there, are things that we likely can't touch. So I don't know where the money would come from.
Correct. So say you're looking here at chief salary, that's
Mhm.
fixed per contract.
Right. The schools, that are fixed, the
schools are just a hair over 60% of our budget every
Right.
year. We're unable to impact that greatly.
highway wages or.
Oh, hold on. Don had a comment.
Just so you know, too, like police and fire have certain other contracts that don't come until May or June. So it may look like they have 60%. They don't. By June, they'll have 0.
You're talking about money's going out.
Yeah.
Money's going out, yes.
Repair contracts, things like that.
Yep. He's just, Vinny's looking through the FY 26 budget requests versus the account recommendations.
Yeah, and the big things, Medicare, retirement, things we can't touch, right?
Correct.
That comes right from the state.
Yeah, so I don't know, I just don't know where you would cut more that would make a difference.
Well, you go into, what do you have for essential services in the town you live in? You have police,
Mhm.
fire, and roads.
Right.
Everything else is not an essential service. So then you get into cutting the library. As a town resident, I'm going to vote for the town library every time. I
Mhm.
happen to love our library.
I think
We,
it's
we had,
important.
we had a great director there. We have a great staff there currently.
Mm.
I would vote for that every time. That is not an essential service, and I'm not picking on them, but I'm pointing out, you have things like that. Town of Rutland, Don might remember, was it 2 years ago? Did they vote an override for the library? Last year, the town of Rutland needed an override. And they said, you either decide you want a library for the next year or no library. And the town residents voted for the library.
Hmm.
So though, that's what it comes down to. In town of Ocam, at every town meeting that I've been to, the residents will vote for police, they will vote for fire, and they vote for their roads.
Yep.
Everything else is a non-essential service that you see on there. So that's really where it would come out of. And as Claire pointed out correctly, Council of Aging doesn't have much money to give up.
Right.
You know,
Well, then that's my point, is I don't know where you would get enough money to make a difference.
Yep.
Without, I mean, I would hate to cut the library. I think the library is important. And
I
And
only
there's so
pointed
much of
out
it is-
because there's very few.
yeah.
The
So,
cemeteries, what's the cemetery numbers at right now, You're going to eliminate what from them, and you could save, $3,000. It's not a lot.
it's not going to make a difference.
That was already cut, I believe.
Was it what was it cut to, do you know? Looking for it.
You will find gravestones.
Exactly. So their stipend is $300. The expenses is in blue, and I'm having trouble reading it.
Which.
It's about 20 lines down.
I think they'd asked for 11,000,
Went down.
I'll go over Cemetery.
went down to
Yeah, So they asked-
11,000
they
down to
asked-
9,900.
right.
99.
It,
So we went down 11.
so what is the 9,900 get us in the cemetery?
That's
Putting all over.
mowing the lawns.
Hold on.
Mhm.
And what does perpetual care cover?
Perpetual care is the trust fund.
For repairs only?
From that can be spent, which is very little because of the way you have to conservatively invest it. You really can't throw it on Wall Street or throw it on a crap table.
Is that used just for maintenance or
They
repairs?
usually use it for, when they do the flowers, at the entrances, and
Yep.
just typical, just to make them look nice.
Yeah,
The signage, keeping up with the signage, and very little money comes out of that interest.
so that,
And the truth is, even if you cut that 9,900 in half, is that enough difference to make a difference?
so the biggest point that Steve's heard me say too many times and Brad's heard me say a couple times is, with the school being 60% of the budget
Mhm.
and our functional government being 40%, even if you were to cut our expenditures for the functional budget by 10%, in reality, you're only cutting the overall budget by 4% because you're only affecting that 40%. So yes, you could cut that 9,900 down, but what does it get you?
Exactly. What difference is it going to make in the,
It's
in
very,
the
I
scheme?
would venture a guess it would probably give you more pushback than if you tried to cut the library budget. Because it wouldn't just be people from Ocam, it would be Ocam's extended family that has grown up here and left, and
yes,
it's kind of the,
You'd end up walking into the graveyards in knee-high grass.
right,
That's what that boils down to.
yeah.
but you would get pushback from everywhere.
So that's why, as again, quoting Don for the third time tonight, they've cut to the bone, everything they think they can cut to the bone.
And so what I'm saying is, I don't see where you're going to get anything but
Yep.
a little change out of it.
Okay, so last chance, Brad, for discussion on this item.
I mean, I think if we're doing the 2.5, it might be an unpopular thing, but that's the best thing.
I don't know that, I don't know that we would say it that way. I think that the 2.5 is automatic in the state of Massachusetts. And I don't know that many town residents notice.
Well, that's why it's good to be doing it, is because it's minimal and we don't see the,
Basically, all you're doing is, I don't know, I don't know that I'm not quoting Lori, but I don't think I'm explaining it right, but basically the increase is the max allowed under Proposition 2.5. And most town residents don't notice that, I guess, or it's kind of expected. Maybe that's a better way to
what
say
I'm
it.
saying, it sounds like it's something we hadn't been doing.
Well,
Well, you
what
have-
figures you would have gotten from her is Prop 2.5 from last year. Times 1.025 plus estimated new growth. Plus debt exclusions, all your debt exclusions, plus local revenue.
Yeah, I don't think I'm saying it well.
You're getting 2.5
So-
automatic.
Let's see if.
It's
Don,
already, it's
I
already
think-
in there in this year's taxes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
You're allowed to. go
Sorry, hold on.
2.5.
Don wants to speak.
We have not been going to 2.5. Period.
Correct.
We are allowed to go to 2.5.
Yeah.
Correct.
Haven't been going.
As I pointed out, in 2004, we left $214,000 on the table by not going to the full 2.5. That compounds now every year after.
So that's what you got Brad going on that last time and the town accountant
You left it on the table.
explained it.
Just-
Next year, 2.5 ignores that totally.
Yeah.
It says theoretically, if you're gone 2.5, it's this amount. Now we increase 2.5% on that amount,
But the
not what
thing
you
is,
actually use.
we didn't spend 214,000. The year after, we didn't
Yeah.
spend 223,000.
So it should be, that means that you should be able to raise it actually more if you figure out based on 2.5, more than 2.5%. Because it's the theoretical amount that's left on the table. It's not the actual amount.
So Claire is,
And I've gone for the training.
Claire
Fine.
is correct. That matches exactly what the accountant has told us.
Yeah. So, you never lose it.
But Claire, what Don is saying is Don and Brad correctly are seeing it a slightly different way than how we're talking about it. They're seeing it as in 2004, the town residents could have paid that additional money in.
Yeah.
What that money went to, or whether it went to free cash, whether it went to savings, whatever it went to, that money was money left on the table is the way they're seeing it.
You
But
didn't raise the money that year.
correct. So the town accountant and you and I are saying it a different way, that money was not taken from the town residents then, but it doesn't affect your future numbers.
That's right, it doesn't. It just means you're gonna be raising.
We're saying the same
Unless
thing.
I'm confused, if if we do it consistently every year, which we haven't been,
Yeah.
we would have a bigger surplus and the town wouldn't feel it as hard as the day we have to
No,
do an
you wouldn't.
override.
Right,
because-
No, you
the
wouldn't.
finance committees
No, you wouldn't.
would not tax people to put money in the bank, okay? If you didn't have it on your expense requests and stuff like that, the budgets were covered, the school was covered, town administration was covered.
It was money
The
you.
finance
didn't
committee is
need
not
that
gonna
year.
go ahead and just grab more money, even though it was available supposedly. So this money that's supposedly left on the table really wasn't left on the
Yeah, so
table.
to back, hold on,
It
Brad.
was a burden that was not given to the townspeople for no reason.
So that's a great way to say it. So basically, the FinCom's role is not to grow the town's savings account to a huge number. The FinCom's role is to protect the town residents' interests. And so the way that he phrased it is 100% correct. It was not, that burden was not placed on the town residents at that time. And I think that's a better way to look at it than money left on the table.
And I appreciate what you're saying too, because, but for me, I feel like when you think about like the fire truck, everybody's taxes went up substantially, but if we were doing these and maintaining these small increases,
But the fire truck.
could we have paid for the fire truck and we wouldn't have felt the,
But the fire truck is
I
a
don't
different
think so.
column. That's
No.
a debt exclusion.
Yeah,
That's money that's strictly for that time period, for that cost.
Right, once it's paid, it
It's
go-
not
it
part
goes.
of the general budget.
Yeah, so
and for the record, I joined this to not raise taxes, but I'm trying to figure out how to also not have to do overrides and use our free cash all the
Right,
time.
I understand what you're saying,
Thank you.
but I guess you could have put some of the money into a capital stabilization account.
Yeah, exactly. Or you could have put
But
it
if you
into,
just-
yeah,
If you just took that money and said, all right, we're gonna put it in the general stabilization,
yeah.
that account is not to say, okay, we're gonna buy a fire truck, we're gonna pull $800,000 out of stabilization. Stabilization is basically your savings account for a bad emergency.
To support Paul's.
So then even that, you know what I mean? But even then, you would have it in the, because something at some point.
So-
But if we needed something in the town, you would have had the free cash to buy something in the town. And you may not be we may not be at the point we are now where we're actually cutting budgets. You
So-
see what I mean?
So Brad, to support Paul's point, yeah, so to support Paul's point, look at an exaggerated example. Say there was no 2.5%, Prop 2.5, right? And so every year you could go up 10%. And so in 2002, 2003, 2004, say you only needed to go up 1% to cover the town's budget's increase. But every year, the Board of Selectmen and the FinCom agreed to go up that 10%. That is a huge tax burden on the residents of the town at that time. Would you be putting a ton of money in the bank? Yes, you would. But would you, as a town resident, want to be absorbing that burden at that time?
So I guess enough to not use the free cash, not to make a.
Well, I think
surplus.
that when we're at this point where we're biting fingernails to make it, you know,
Yeah.
it would have been good to raise the revenue. However, you know, I know it's hard to see, but when you work the numbers,
Yeah.
it's ever so much clearer. So every year you go back to what the previous Prop 2.5 was. Okay, and you add on real new growth, and then you multiply all that by 2.5%. If I didn't use that full 2.5%, doesn't make any difference. That's still the baseline number that you use this year.
So as an alternative,
Still the baseline.
say the FinCom votes tonight that we are uncomfortable with this budget being with $300 and change within the forecast revenue. And let's say that we agree, we don't see any more cuts that could be had. We could make, any one of you on the FinCom could make the recommendation that instead of using 100% free cash, we dial it back, we use 90% of free cash this year, and we pull money out of stabilization. You could make that motion. We could then kick that back to the Board of Selectmen. And you're taking money out of savings at that point in time. And as you know, it is a viable thing. But again, you have to decide, you heard you can't look back on previous FinComs and Board of Selectmen and say they didn't take enough money from the town residents at the time. The goal at the time was to protect the town residents' interest and take only as much as was necessary. And when you had free cash, you put into savings, you had a little extra money, put it into savings. Does that make sense?
Well, as a member of the town, I would have said to you, so why am I taking money out of savings when I have the money? That's what I would have said to you. I don't understand. Why am I taking out of savings when I have the money?
Yep.
So why don't you just spend the money and leave the savings alone?
Yep.
Because all you're doing is saying, I'm going to take it out of savings so I can have free cash, so I can roll it over to free cash, maybe to apply to the budget next year. What is your end game? That's what I would say to you. What is your end game?
It's very similar to Mike's point
I wouldn't do
about cutting a budget and at the annual town meeting and then restoring the budget at the special town meeting. And the only advantage I currently see for that is transparency, and you allow the town residents to vote on it. But as he's pointed out several years in a row now, that is a roller coaster of a budget process. So, and it matches Claire's comments of robbing Peter to pay Paul. If you have the money there to spend,
Don't take it out of savings.
you don't take it out of
So you
savings.
put it back into
I
savings, you know?
agree,
Let's
you
say, what the
shouldn't
hell are you
take out of
doing?
savings, but I guess what I've been hearing is what you don't do with the budget is take your free cash and put it into the budget. So all I'm saying is, how do you avoid
Well,
doing?
and I have to say.
I don't have the answer.
I
I'm
know
just
what
trying to
the
figure out
official
how to
state.
do what everybody's saying
I
is the
know
right
about
way to.
those.
Sorry, Brad, Claire's talking.
I know about the, the official state line, but when I went to the meetings, they said, we understand the situation. And we know that you have to spend the free cash to close the budgets. The small towns are they're being squeezed. We understand that you're spending all the free cash. What they would say, like Northborough would say at the end, we have free cash, we buy a police car. Or we buy a fire chief car and we're buying this and that and the other thing with their free cash. And the little towns like us were standing there with our tongues hanging out. Because we didn't have that kind of free cash. We were closing the budget. Official line from the state, you should never cover your operating budget from free cash because you can't rely on it from year to year. That's the reason why.
Well, here's an example of free cash. And
And we would say, but we have to.
in 96, I believe it was 1996, the last century. We took 300,000 of free cash. And that was used to cap the landfill on South Road.
Hmm.
And if I remember right, we came in quite a bit under budget, I think around 245 maybe. But we had the free cash at the time, so it didn't go on the tax rate to do it. We were under the gun with Mass DEP before we were going to start getting fined because we weren't doing it. But we had good years those years.
Yeah.
And we had
You had good growth those years.
awesome growth.
Yeah, that makes all the difference.
But that was a perfect use of
Free
free
cash,
cash.
yes.
So in an ideal, perfect world, you use that money or a percentage of it to do some of these capital expenditures or improvements, whatever it may be. And I think then we even had a balance left, and that went into stabilization.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I do like to run a tight meeting. So as long as Steve and Vinny are both sated, I'm looking to Brad. All right, so I think it's time that I'd like to make a motion that we vote to accept the Board of Selectmen's budget as written. And we're gonna roll call it. Do I have a second for that motion?
I'll second it.
I have a second for that motion. So the motion is for FinCom to vote to accept the Board of Selectmen's budget recommendation as per the May 14th, 2025 version that we received via email. Steve?
Yes, I vote to approve that budget.
Okay, that's an aye. Brad?
Aye.
Aye. Vinny, aye. And I'll vote aye on that as well. So we have, I'm just gonna write that note on that. So we're gonna move forward then with the budget as currently written. I'm gonna make sure that you get this in your email so that you can look through it a few more times and be happy with it.
I'm fine with the budget. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, we haven't gone to the town meeting yet, Brad, so, if
Yeah.
you find $100,000 in there, speak up.
I'll let somebody know. I don't
So you let somebody know.
know if I'm doing better than these guys.
All right, so thank you all for letting me run a tight ship here.
Good luck.
The next item on our agenda is we have a membership interview for Finance Committee. And I received a nice email from Claire Hendra, who is with us today. Claire, first question for you. Are you a registered town voter?
Yes,
She is. All right. So would you please I have not shared this with the FinCom yet. Would you run them through your background, please?
okay. I was on FinCom from fiscal year 2012, I think to fiscal 2022. And in the last couple of years, after Donna left, and Tom Wilson was working on making the transition, I put together the revenue figures for the town. So I understand where the revenue figures come from. And I went to all the state training sessions, and I would go to the state meetings with other towns on finance. And I would go to the schools to talk to them about their budgets as well. And I was a chief accountant at Strathmore Paper. And I was the project manager for shutting down the Worcester plant for Wyman Gordon and moving it to Grafton. So I'm accustomed to working with budgets and numbers. And I don't know what else to tell you.
Are you currently on any other committees in town that would render you ineligible for this
I'm
position?
resigning from them. I'm the treasurer and the acting chair for the COA. I found a chair. I found a treasurer. So the treasurer is filling out the paperwork so that you can appoint her, and then I will train her. Okay, I pretty much have trained a new chair.
Thank you.
So I would be resigning.
I think Stephen knows, Brad might know. I don't know if Vinny knows. If you are on FinCom, you are ineligible to serve on any other town committee at the time being. There was discussion of changing the bylaw to allow you to be on any other committee that was not compensated and that was not passed. Is that correct, Don? Yes, so,
Yeah, because I did read the bylaw and I saw that.
okay. Thank you. Sorry, Claire, back to you.
It's just that right now I'm working on the regional school agreement, which we are sure is going to be wrapped up by September.
Is that a town of Ocam committee position?
No, it's regional, but I represent the
You
town.
represent the town.
Yeah,
The board appointed her to.
yeah,
And it's wrapping up.
it's wrapping up.
I would have to ask the Board of Selectmen if that's a conflict. Do you know if that's a conflict?
We didn't think it was.
We didn't think it was. Okay.
If it was
Claire is-
complimentary.
Claire has decided that because the regional committee for, what's the magic word, Claire?
The regional agreement for quality,
Agreement,
agreement, okay,
is wrapping up.
yeah.
So once that's done, probably sometime this summer,
Yeah.
then Claire will be available and
Mhm.
Okay.
And you would wait till,
Yes, I would just, sit in the audience.
we asked Claire to go because she was on for the last regional agreement.
Yeah.
So she had a pretty good working knowledge of the agreement. So we thought she was best to represent
Hmm.
OCAM.
So that, at the moment, that would be my only concern of note. It would be having to wait till she was off of that committee.
Right.
I wouldn't ask you to appoint me until then.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I will, just sit in the audience and
What else?
shut my mouth.
What else?
That's impossible.
Come on.
What else should the FinCom know? I saw that you
I don't know,
have an MBA from Clark.
Oh, okay, yep. So I have an MBA from Clark. I did my master's thesis in standard cost accounting. And, and I was, okay. So I was the chief accountant at Strathmore Paper. I was a head foreman at Wyman Gordon. I was the manufacturing engineering manager for 7 years for Worcester and Grafton. I was the inventory control manager, where my job was to reduce the $30 million metal inventory as far down as I could get it. When I was shut down the Worcester plant, moved to Grafton. I was the purchasing manager for Wyman Gordon.
I think that's an excellent.
Is that enough?
That's an excellent background.
And then I went to Saint Gobain and I left there as a lead consultant for their ERP software for manufacturing, plant maintenance, planning, and engineering
I'd like to,
worldwide.
I'd like to see, Steve, did you have any questions for Claire?
Welcome back, Claire.
There you
Come
go.
on, Steve.
And Brad, did you have any questions for Claire? And Vinny?
no,
So right now, Claire, I'm kind of heading the ship, trying to steer the ship. And I have Brad, who's on board with big picture, trying to protect the town's residents, make sure their taxes don't go up.
Not sound like that.
That's what he wants to do.
I'm with you on that one.
And then Steve has been covering the schools for us to round us out. And then Vinny has started to dive into the numbers. I think we're looking for someone like you with a CPA or something like that.
Not a CPA, but I was the chief accountant.
Yeah, background in accounting. How good are you on Excel?
Well, I live on it.
Okay, so we're looking for
That
someone.
sounded like a volunteer.
I live on it.
Okay, we're looking for someone well-versed in Microsoft Excel. After Suzanne was on a few years ago and was fantastic, and we greatly miss her.
Mhm.
So we're kind of rounding out the
Spreadsheets
team.
you have,
Yes,
I started all those.
okay.
Yep, she was
So-
a good coordinator, and then
Yeah,
Suzanne took those. And,
yeah,
so it's just a continuation back to Claire.
yeah, yeah.
So then that is all I had on that item.
Okay.
The next I had prior meeting minutes. Did not bring a copy, so I'll get that emailed out to you guys. They were nothing exciting. Scheduling the next meeting. Board of Selectmen, did you want us to meet with you guys? Do you need us to meet with you guys? Or do you just want me to put on something on the books in a couple weeks?
The town meeting's the 24th.
Has that been set? That's what, 24th? June 24th. That's,
24th.
well, that's, I was looking at May 24th thinking I hadn't seen any advertising.
No, it's not in 3 days.
Okay. Did you want to have it, was there anything that would require a joint meeting before then? Because if not, I'll set up something a couple weeks out for us.
I would say go a couple of weeks now, because we still have to send this to town council. So
Okay.
the questions that are coming up are coming from council,
Okay,
then we can meet.
all right.
So you probably need a meeting anyways, so you can put your voter advisory together, send out.
What do you have, Vinny?
Uh,
What's a couple weeks out?
well, a couple of weeks is the 4th.
Okay, so let's think about June 4th at the moment. And then we'll firm up in the next couple of days. Think about that. All right, and that is all I had for that. And then I'm gonna make a motion under Mass General Law 30A, Section 21A8, for an executive session to begin to consider applicants for appointment. And we will end the meeting after that. So
What does that mean?
I'm looking at the public body checklist for entering into executive session. What did I miss?
What you missed is you're the appointing authority.
Yep.
You cannot go into executive session to discuss anything. If you were a committee, resumes and all that, you could. But
So,
anything like with us, with you, you can't go into executive session.
so item 8 of Mass General Law states to consider or interview applicants for employment or appointment by preliminary screening chair committee if the chair declares that an open meeting will have a detrimental effect in obtaining qualified applicants, provided however, this clause shall not apply to any meeting, including meetings of preliminary screening committee to consider and interview applicants who have passed a prior preliminary screening.
Council will say no. We've been through this
Okay,
because we wanted to do that. And we were told we can't.
okay. Well, if the attorney says otherwise, we're not gonna run counter to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Was this my interview? Or are you discussing it?
It was just a introduction.
Oh, an introduction.
Yes. So
Okay.
we want, I don't know you. I don't know if Vinny knows you. I can't speak for Brad. It sounds like Steve does.
I
So-
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just an introduction.
Okay, so do I have to come back to be interviewed?
I think that's gonna be up to the FinCom to talk about and decide, so.
Well, let me know so I can put it on the calendar.
I have to say, me and Claire have disagreed about a few things,
Yeah,
but she knows her stuff.
That seems quite evident.
I'd
Which
like
the
you to know that I
disagreement
was
part
not
is
only
okay.
trained by Donna Kuchar, who knew her stuff.
Yes, she did.
She knew her stuff, but also by the state and by Boston, the legal department in Boston. They all trained me.
So I think at the moment, the FinCom cannot make a vote on Claire because she currently sits on the Council of Aging, which she's removing herself from. And we'll have to confirm that the regional school agreement appointment is not a conflict of interest per the bylaws.
Although
But
I think-
she's,
Or that I'm done. Or that I'm,
Right.
that we're done, yeah.
or when she's
So I'll
done.
let you know when we're done.
So I think that we need to basically thank Claire for coming out and meeting us. And I think that when she is fully eligible, sometime midsummer, you were thinking, Claire?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, midsummer.
At that point, I would make a motion to appoint her or not.
Just so you know, Corey, that's a temporary appointment until the following town meeting. At that point, if you appointed tonight
Yeah,
at the town meeting, the moderator appoints whoever is back up for
So-
appointment.
At the town meeting
So-
in June, Vinny and Brad
Hmm.
would have to be
appointed by the moderator.
By the moderator.
Because you guys are on this temporary.
Has Brad been through one already? Town meeting?
No.
And to them, I don't think I've been officially appointed.
Okay. Yes, and then that usually goes through Dennis.
Is that,
Tell them, wait
You
your
can fill the
time.
vacancies within the year.
right,
When you do that, then the moderator has to
at the close of the town meeting.
affirm
when the
that,
appointments to
and
the finance
which would
committee
appoint you
meet.
to a 5-year position or wherever that one falls.
Right,
And that 5-member could be 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whoever you're replacing,
Thank you.
or he.
Yep.
I think we're all 3-year.
I
With the,
thought that's what the bylaw
Bylaw
said, but
says.
I.
when it started, there were some 2 and some 3s, but then everybody's
should
3.
stagger, so every year somebody's term would be up unless they were reappointed at the town meeting. Be like planning board.
I
It's 5 year.
I defer to Mike on this. You're much more well versed in it than I. Thank you for that. Yeah, so at this time, there's no motion to be made on that item.
Right.
And so we'll just open it up. Does anyone else have anything for the FinCom in the audience?
just one comment, something that was mentioned tonight is, pulling money out of stabilization to balance the budget. That's a really bad idea.
Borrowing from Peter to pay Paul?
It's even worse than that. The problem is you balance it this year to get your budget's at a higher level. So next year you come up and you say, well, we still don't have the money. Let's balance it out of stabilization again. It's not the correct use for stabilization. And pretty soon you don't have stabilization.
I agree. I believe Claire said the same thing. That was just an example that we were
No,
discussing.
I know that, and I'm not saying this to beat on you or anything.
Yeah.
But that
I concur.
is a bad idea, yeah.
Yes.
And they certainly wouldn't want to touch it before it becomes absolutely necessary down the road somewhere.
Yes. So, all right. Well, I want to, for the record, again, appreciate the selectmen being here to give us their information. Understand that, again, repeating, they were not in session. Former chair, thank you so much for being here, Paul. Claire, thank you for coming to meet us. And with no other business to be had, I'm going to make a motion that we call this meeting to end at 7:57 PM. Is that correct? Well, all right, guys, that was a little bit longer than usual. Do I have a second?
1 second.
Vinny, I have a second. Stephen, all in favor, voting to
Aye.
adjourn?
Aye.
Aye. All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending.